remember, people look at Kanye now as a rapper, but in the beginning, if you're an artist, you didn't look at Kanye as a rapper. You looked at him like who made beats. There wasn't a lot of producers that could rap and be successful at it that I could think of off the top of my head. Of course, Jermaine Dupri, but I don't really consider him like a rapper, even though he could spit some bars. Shout out to JD. Puff too, people would write for him. Kanye was like writing his own. And I remember we was in the studio and it was me and Jay-Z in there and he was just rapping his heart out. And I was like, kind of saying something. You know what I'm saying? I was looking at him, but I'm still looking at him as a producer. Jay was just in a two-way pager like this. This going hard, Kanye just going crazy. Jay wouldn't even look up.
Everybody loves to say Jay-Z discovered Kanye West, but hold up. Almost nobody breaks down how close he came to fumbling a multi-million-dollar moment. Listen to this. Back in the early 2000s, Kanye wasn't the untouchable billionaire mogul you see today. He wasn't Yeezy, he wasn't a global icon, he was just another producer sitting in the studio. Cameron even told a story about Kanye walking in and straight up spitting his heart out in front of Jay-Z. Picture that energy. While Kanye was practically jumping out of his skin trying to prove he belonged, Jay barely glanced his way and stayed locked in on his two-way pager. Girl, that's crazy when you think about it, because in that era, nobody was calling Kanye a future rap legend. To them, he was just the guy behind the beats, and that right there is the exact moment millions of dollars were almost left sitting on the table. Now, I'm about to roll this clip for y'all, but before I do, you already know the vibe. Hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and make sure you're subscribed. Let's get into it.
With Kanye.
It was cool. I didn't really be in the studio with Kanye when it came to beats. Kanye kind of just gave me beats, and I would pick out which ones that I like. And that's kind of how we vibe. But when I was with Kanye in the studio, he was trying to rap. It's a song that he got, I think 30 Days, 30 Nights. I'm not sure the name of the song. I think on the Life of Pablo album, he talking about how he's in the studio rapping for me and Jay-Z. I remember Kanye was in the studio, and you gotta remember, people look at Kanye now as a rapper, but in the beginning, if you're an artist, you didn't look at Kanye as a rapper. You looked at him like who made beats. There wasn't a lot of producers that could rap and be successful at it that I could think of off the top of my head. Of course, Jermaine Dupri, but I don't really consider him like a rapper, even though he could spit some bars. Shout out to JD. Puff too, people would write for him. Kanye was like writing his own. And I remember we was in the studio and it was me and Jay-Z in there and he was just rapping his heart out. And I was like, kind of saying something. You know what I'm saying? I was looking at him, but I'm still looking at him as a producer. Jay was just in a two-way pager like this. This going hard, Kanye just going crazy. Jay wouldn't even look up, just like this in his pager. And I ain't gonna sit and act like I discovered the either, because I was just like, am I bugging or is this saying some shit? But it was kind of off because you gotta realize what Kanye did successfully, he had like a backpacker style and still could rap with who's talking about money, drugs, or murder or whatever. Kanye could do a song with Jay-Z and then go to SOBs and do a song with Mos Def. You know what I'm saying? He kind of connected and gapped that bridge of the backpackers mixed with if you want to call it gangster hustler, whatever kind of vibe you want to call it, to where he could do both and not be frowned upon for doing it. But as far as him producer for me, he would just give me beats, I would pick him out. But I've been in the studio with him a few times when he was rapping, and he definitely had some, but we kind of looked over it. Well, I kind of looked over it.
Are you surprised to what he became?
Nah, I'm not surprised. You got to realize that if you put your mind to it and your hustle to it, and and set a goal out and a plan out for yourself, you could do it. Because like I said, he was rapping. Excuse me, he was really rapping, not just rapping, he was pretty good. I just was looking at him as a producer. And then you gotta realize he knew how to market. When I say market, right, the thing that made Kanye blow, pause, is that he got into a car accident because he's in LA. His jaw was wired. Then he did a song Through the Wire with his jaw wired, which was marketing genius. Then who sampled he used? Shaka Khan sample. So now Shaka Khan's involved. You know, like, oh, and then you like, oh, this nigga really rapping through his teeth, and it was a good song. Yeah. Then what did he do next? He threw Jesus in it. Said Jesus walks.
Went religious on the
Jesus song.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. So he knows how to market. And then what did he do? You know, he starts to get more famous and famous. Then I don't know if this was a ploy or not. He might have been serious, but he starts being in the camera and in the news a lot for snatching cameras from paparazzi. That may have been a setup from the beginning. Not saying it was. I have no idea if it was or wasn't. But how smart is that if it was? Because now you're saying, yo, stop taking pictures of me. He could have had his man doing it. But if people who take pictures know that makes you mad, they're going to take more pictures to make you mad, to make a spectacle of what you're doing. So now, oh, I think he coming flight. Take a picture. You got him chasing cameramen, taking cameras. And now even if it wasn't planned, or if it was planned, now you got them doing it naturally. Now that creates more of a media blitz towards you. Like Kanye does it again. He's chasing another cameraman. He wants to get this person suing him, that person suing him, yada, 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 yada. But he's putting good music behind it as well. Mm-hmm. So I think he's very creative as far as marketing his music and himself is concerned. And then you pick the right girls too at the right time. You know, you pick the right chick, popular joint, helps you out. Then you get with Adidas. You know, you take Adidas from not just saying a foot brand, a regular sneaker. I don't want to say regular because basketball players wear them, other people wear them, but his sneaker was a Neiman Marcus next to Balenciaga.
Yeah,
it's a big deal, man. I think he's right. That's why when people be like, that nigga crazy, I'm like, I'm not that crazy. You know, certain things that he's done that he thought, my opinion is that he could go over and get away with because he was that popular. And he tried to be the one to be like, I'm hot out here. I can say what I want to say. And nah, you ain't that hot. Just calm down. You can't just say anything you want to say.
I think he's going to reinvent some shit. I think he's creative enough because let me tell you something. That new T.I. shit, that shit driving itself crazy. Y'all heard that?
Yeah.
I think he reinvented himself a little bit off that. I think that shit dope. So I think Kanye, he might could do it.
The wildest part of this whole story is how simple it is to overlook greatness when it's standing right in front of you. Think about that for a second. And let me be clear, this is not a shot at Jay-Z whatsoever. If anything, it highlights just how uncommon real vision truly is. Even top-tier music executives with decades of experience can't always spot someone's ceiling in the early stages. Kanye didn't fit the mold of a traditional rap superstar. He didn't sound like the typical rap superstar either, but what he did understand was branding, marketing, and ownership on a completely different frequency. He knew how to flip attention into leverage. He knew how to turn moments into momentum. And most importantly, he transformed belief into billions. That's why this situation hits different from a business angle, because it proves that betting on people can be one of the highest yield investments on the planet. Kanye's Yeezy partnership with Adidas reportedly pulled in billions in revenue and elevated him into one of the wealthiest self-made artists in music history. That's bigger than chart success. That's ownership. That's equity. That's how generational wealth is built. So let me throw this to y'all. Do you think Jay-Z always recognized Kanye's billion-dollar upside, or did Kanye force everybody's hand through relentless belief and marketing brilliance? And be real, if you were in that studio with Cameron and Jay-Z back then, would you have put money behind Kanye or dismissed him as just another producer? Drop your thoughts in the comments, make sure you like the video, and don't forget to subscribe. Peace.